everyone, what is up? Welcome into Attacking Third, presented by Tylenol, the official pain reliever of the NWSL. It is so good to be back with you guys. It is Thursday, so that means we have a big NWSL preview, but we are taking the show around the globe, talking women's football from the WSL. We're talking some free agents. We're going to play a fun game. It's going to be a good one. So thanks, everyone, for hanging with us. Alongside Jen Beatty and Darian Jenkins, I'm Lisa Carlin. It is a lot to celebrate here with women's soccer, but more importantly, a belated happy birthday to our very own Jen Beatty. How was your birthday, friend?
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry. Sad this wasn't yesterday to actually do it on my birthday. That would have been fun. But happy to be
a whole
here.
week to celebrate, though.
Whole week, yeah. Are we birthday week celebrators? Are we birthday month celebrators?
Birthday month. You milk it as much as you can.
I got a month. Okay, I will rinse that. Don't tell me twice, because I will rinse that.
Yeah, as you should. Especially like the first half of the month, right? Like once your birthday passes, it's a little more difficult. But I'm glad you didn't have to work on your birthday. But now we get to see you. How was it? Good day?
It was great. You know what? It was super chilled. My partner organized a little something at the house with some friends locally. So it was so nice. It was obviously a school night, so it was a quiet one. It was well behaved, but it was nice to celebrate. She got me a lovely cake, lots of balloons. And we're going away this weekend together, just us. So that'll be nice.
Oh, so nice. I love that. Okay. Are you chocolate, vanilla? What's your cake?
I'm chocolate all day. And that was actually quite funny because she asked me, what would be your favorite cake, and I'm a chocolate girl all day. The sponge, the icing, everything.
All of it. Full chocolate. I mean, that sounds great. I love it. Congrats, Jen.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday. We are glad to get to be with you. If you guys are with us live on YouTube, drop Jen some birthday love in the chat. Wish her a happy birthday, happy belated. We're lucky that we get to be with her today. And if you're listening as a pod, thank you so much. If you're on Golazo Network, we so appreciate you guys. Let's dive into it because it is NWSL action happening. And actually, just before we went live, we were like, there was another midweek game because there's always midweek games in NWSL. It wasn't on a Wednesday this week. It was on a Tuesday. And Boston, they beat Orlando 2-1. This was like in the final seconds of Tuesday's games. But Darian, that is now 4 unbeaten for the legacy. It's a resurgence for Boston.
I'm here for it. I think this team plays so bold, and it is difficult to come not only as an expansion team, but a very inexperienced team in this league and try to truly play. And they're doing it. And I think they've demanded respect against teams, drawing against Gotham, beating Orlando Pride. I mean, they had 22 shots in this match. This team plays very, very bold, and I think it demands respect. And I think that they've kind of surprised us all, that they've continued this and just seem to get more and more confident with that sort of underdog mentality that they play with. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I love the drama. But yes, I was also very surprised there was a match Tuesday night. Expecting that.
Okay, all the shots that you said that Boston took in that game, not surprising. If you look back at their last couple of games, D, they're shooting like insane numbers. Their XG was like 8 at one point over their last 3 games, yet they can't find the back of the net. It was like they were missing that one final piece of scoring and also having the confidence to score and to be able to do that. And now they've proven it. They've gotten over that hump of being able to score, find the back of the net consistently, doing it in their own style of play. They don't stray too far from the style that Philippa Patel wants to play with this group, which is an aggressive, they're high pressing, they want to turn the ball over. It's kind of fun to watch this team and how they've come out of their cocoon to now play this really good football and to take down some big teams.
They were the better team, though, I think. In like a lot of spells of the game, it didn't feel like I was watching a huge underdog against a team that we've seen be really, really successful. They're especially in the second half, the waves of attack, the momentum. And what I loved about lots of shots, because I think the commentary when I was watching it was not questioning it, but obviously breaking down and analyzing. And maybe they weren't the best times to be taking shots, but what that does, it just puts a backline on the back foot. You cannot switch off. If you're playing against a team that are shooting from anywhere, you're thinking, all right, waves of attack. How do I stop this? And then obviously you create your luck by just putting pressure on teams. You get your moments, but credit to them. Like what a run they've been having. And after a tough start to the season, I loved it. I was so there for it. And seeing the celebrations as well when the final whistle went to get that win against the Pride, I thought was amazing. So and truly well deserved. It wasn't as if it was a lucky win. It wasn't. I thought they were the better team in a lot of spells of the game.
I think the biggest difference too, watching these two teams, is with Boston, anybody on the pitch can score. They're still an unpredictable team of, I don't know who's going to get a goal. They all look relentless. They all look like they're striving to score. They have the confidence from their coach to take a shot from literally anywhere. And Jen, you're right. It's strategic. It makes everybody have to jump in front of the ball. It makes you much more disorganized in the back. You end up opening up spaces that you wouldn't when you're actually set and a team is a bit more predictable. Orlando, on the other hand, the one phase of attack that they have right now is set pieces and Barbara Banda.
Yeah.
And it's become so predictable that if Banda's not firing on all cylinders, and yes, she's going to score goals, she's incredible, who else is taking the load off of her? Who else is going to score? And I feel like when I watch, I don't know.
And this was their issue last year. Banda got hurt, and then they stopped scoring goals and stopped winning games.
There was one moment, and I'm sure you guys remember as well, where I think it was Hayley Mace that had a really good opportunity within the box, dragged it wide. But in my mind, I was just like, that feels a little bit strange to me that their other best opportunity is through a defender. And that kind of summed it up for me, that something wasn't clicking. They weren't getting numbers forward in the right areas. It was definitely, and don't get me wrong, a ball in behind, of course, Barbara Banda will create something, but the other areas of the pitch, it just felt like a connection was missing. Numbers weren't arriving at the right time, and your best other opportunity went to Hayley Mace, and that's nothing against her. It's just, where was everyone else adding to that attack?
Yeah, I am covering Orlando this weekend in studio, and I was cutting a bunch of clips on Barbara Banda yesterday and rewatching the game with Boston. And one of the factors I thought about is she takes a lot of shots when she has options, and it is unpredictable. But I understand why she does, because I feel there's not the same confidence from other players to take those shots and know that it's going to be a finish. But Barbara Banda's willing to do it. And I think that's the edge that Boston had over Orlando. And a lot of teams have over Orlando right now. Banda has the confidence. She feels inevitable. Who else is going to do it? That's the next level of this team that made them exciting a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And where they're not back to that. I don't know if it's confidence or what.
It felt like a team with no pressure, playing with no pressure, versus a team playing with a lot of pressure on top of them and playing within themselves. That's how it looked to me.
Well, Orlando gets another chance this weekend because NWSL is back with a vengeance. Friday night, guys, 4 games kicking off. One of those is Boston taking on Bay FC, but a huge one. Number 2, Washington Spirit at number 3, San Diego. Both Washington and San Diego tied on 18 points, and they're only 1 point behind Portland. This is a potential chance for either of these teams to take over that number 1 spot in the standings, because Portland, they don't play until Sunday against Angel City. Jen, when you think about Washington and San Diego, who's more in form right now heading into this game?
I would say Spirit are more in form. I think their attacking threats have just been insane since the start of the season. I think they've been the team for me that have been most exciting to watch from an attacking standpoint. I hope Rodman's okay, obviously, but I still think they have the depth with Gift Monday, Kwesi, Cantore, top players that have been great week in, week out. So in terms of connection, creativity, they've looked like the team that have just had things clicking this season and have been great to watch. But take nothing away from San Diego. I think Eugenia can create something out of nothing. She's been a standout for me for the Wave so far this season. But what a game. I actually cannot wait for this one. It's going to be 2 teams with an amazing attacking force, so I'm ready.
Yeah, both of these teams are so stacked. You have Vi Brazil on one side, the most international team on the other side. My issue with San Diego is I need Ludmila and Gabby Portillo to get on the same level as Dudinia, be just as threatening.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, that's a crazy match against Spirit and San Diego. But I would give the edge to Spirit right now, especially if Rodman is healthy. But what a fun game. This feels like a playoff match in a way for some reason.
Kind of does. It's the two best teams right now in form and, of course, at the top of the standings, but also hitting their stride to some extent because Washington, they come in 5 straight wins and they started the season in a bit of a slump. They've picked it up. They're all on the same page moving forward. And San Diego, they just snapped that 2-game slump they had, beating their rivals in Angel City 2-1. But you're right, Dee. It is all Dugenia moving forward in that front line. But she's enough of a threat to get wins and to be a disruptor, but they would be so much more unstoppable, San Diego, if they could get some of their other players in contributing into being as dangerous as she can be. Because when Dugenia gets on the ball, you never know what she's going to do. Is she going to stay wide? Is she going to cut inside? Is she going to shoot? Is she going to try to rip it across, shoot from distance, get inside the box? She's such a threat. It's very fun to watch this team. So game of the weekend to watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big one. We also have another big one, though, because number 1, Portland Thorns is taking on Angel City. And Angel City, they've slumped to 11th place, 4 losses in a row, but they will have Noose back after serving her red card suspension from that Utah game. But let's look at Portland because they were 5 unbeaten before they fell pretty harshly 3-1 to Racing Louisville last weekend. Darian, how can Portland show that that loss to Louisville was just a blip and they can get back on track?
I think they're going to. When I think that was a match that they approached that maybe they didn't bring out the best energy to, just because Louisville isn't always the most threatening team. And I think you can take your foot off the gas pedal when you go into a game thinking that. And to me, that's what happened with Portland. Yes, Sophia Wilson, wheels are burning. She looks faster than ever, still scoring goals. But Louisville was up for the challenge and Portland just simply wasn't. So I think that's a blip. That's one of those games that they're going to look back on and say, never again can we drop to that level. That was poor. The ways that they lost battles on the field is not of Portland Thorns caliber. So looking at this match against Angel City, a team that can punish you, that is going to look to be aggressive, wants to break their losing streak they're going through right now, and a very emotional team. I think this is going to be a feisty game between these two sides. Portland wanting to get back after that blip, we'll call it, and then Angel City, a lot of emotions after the California clash. A lot of emotions. So I think there's going to be a lot of motivation to snap that emotionally, physically, going against Portland Thorns away from home, especially at Providence Park. I think it's going to be a chippy game.
Ooh, a chippy game.
Chippy. I love the word chippy. I love when you guys say that. Not a word we use in the UK, but I'm here for it.
Jen, were you a chippy player?
No, I was horizontal player.
Mental.
Yeah. No, I rarely even went at a ref. I wasn't chippy. Were you guys chippy? No.
Yeah, it could be.
You could be.
Yeah. I don't think that's a surprise. Yeah.
Kelly O'Hara came for you.
Yeah, they went at it. They went at it. All right, so that's the big one. Portland Thorns and Angel City. Let's go around the grounds because there are some other games we do just have to touch on. Seattle taking on Gotham. At Gotham, they're coming off that 1-1 draw versus Boston. And Seattle, they're winless in 4. Jen, when you think about Seattle, Gotham, who's in better form? Who needs this win more at this point?
Oh, my goodness. That's a tough one. I feel like Seattle probably need it more. But Gotham still hasn't hit the stride that I think we all have the expectation on them. I think they both need a result in this one. I think they both need it purely for confidence-wise. Gotham have obviously had more wins, so Seattle technically need it more. But I think for Gotham's season in general, they need this more to get back up to the standard that they know they are capable of. So again, a huge game for both of them, though. I will say, take nothing away. I think neither team have hit their stride with their capabilities. But I will say for Gotham to hit anywhere near the ceiling of where they're capable of, I think they need it more. I think, some underwhelming performances would maybe be the word, and knowing what they can do and what that team can achieve with the players that they have. Still loving Dudley. Think she's been brilliant. My standout absolutely from a Gotham perspective, but yeah, both teams need it to answer your question. Yeah.
I mean, Dudley's been so good for Gotham. She's been so electric. Jess, I think that Seattle need it more. They need to score
100%.
goals. They need to score a goal. They're not only winless in 4, they haven't scored a goal in 4 games. And frankly, they don't even look like they want to score a goal at times. Wow. That's like, it's very disappointing. They need to turn it around. If they can get even a point off Gotham, I think that would help boost Seattle as they move forward.
Yeah, I think the pressure is on Seattle. They haven't got, Jess Fishlock is out with an injury, but who else is stepping up? It's another one of those teams that play so predictably, and it's almost as if everyone is waiting on someone else to have the responsibility to score a goal, and someone needs to step up and do it. Gotham, I'm not worried about Gotham. They are always slow at certain points of the season. They'll have a lull. We'll have this conversation again that why aren't they scoring? They just don't score a lot of goals. I think it's time we just say Gotham just don't score a lot of goals until we're proven otherwise. They've consistently been like this. Seattle, though, they need some positivity. They need some positive vibes. They need a goal. At least I think you're right. A point would be good walking away against Gotham.
Would a point in a scoreless draw be good enough for Seattle, or would a 1-1 draw be even better for them, Darian?
A 1-1. A goal would be a goal would feel like a win at this point. Yeah, they need a goal.
Tough. In their last game against Washington Spirit, I just looked up some of these stats. Seattle had 12 shots. 3 of them were on target. That is just not good enough. It's not good enough. It has to get better. So Seattle, Gotham. We also have Denver, Orlando. Denver is coming off that dominating 4-1 win over Houston. And then Orlando, they had that midweek 2-1 loss to Boston. And then last weekend, they were able to pick up a win 1-0 over North Carolina, Darian. But Denver, Orlando, I'm excited for this game. It's happening in Denver too.
Yeah, it's an adjustment to go play in Denver too. This is a girl from Utah, so same elevation. It is tough to travel and play against a team that is building momentum, has a clear way that they're trying to play, players that are hungry to score. Yasmin Ryan is looking like OG Yas Ryan and slicing and dicing and getting assists. They share the load of scoring goals, which I've reiterated, Orlando is not doing right now. I think it's a really good test. But when we're looking at momentum, Denver's got it. And at home, once again, this is going to be a fun match. And I love the comments. People are saying, I don't think Pride want the smoke. I don't know if anyone wants to face Denver right now.
No, they're good. They're a fun team to watch. And especially at home where they really haven't been. So the fans are going to show out. Probably going to be another sellout for Denver. That's a good one. Okay, KC, Houston, the last one we have to touch on, Jen, because Kansas City, they are 6th in the standing right now. And they're coming off back-to-back wins, but over some struggling teams, North Carolina and Chicago. And now Kansas City takes on Houston. Is this a point where Kansas City has to make a statement in their season about what kind of team they want to be?
Yeah, I think when you have had the start that KC had and then get some good wins under your belt, I feel like in this league it doesn't matter who it's against, because this league is so hard to predict and anything can happen from week to week. But I still think from against teams that have been struggling, that is just, they still need to pick apart. Okay, their wins, but pick apart what went right, what went wrong, still look to improve in every area, and just keep building, keep looking forward, focus on the next game that's coming up. And obviously it's against the Dash that have just come off a loss, so that's another opportunity to just keep that momentum going. But I think for them it's okay, we're picking up points consistently, keep building, keep improving, and kind of not forget the start of the season, but just keep on that positive mindset of we're going in the right direction now, and keep getting better.
Yeah, Houston's struggling too, winless in 4. And we talk about Seattle not being able to score. Houston has struggled to score. They've struggled to score, which could bode really well for Kansas City because they've proven this year, the current, that they're going to concede some goals, but they're probably just going to score more than the other team. That's a fun one that we have too. A lot in the NWSL weekend to come. Of course, we are going to be back on Sunday to recap the NWSL weekend to come. All right, stick with us, guys. We've got more Attacking Third coming up next, right after this quick break.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it? Can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
Hey, welcome back to Attacking Third, presented by Tylenol, the official pain reliever of the NWSL. We are jumping on a plane, heading across the pond, and talking the Barclays Women's Super League because it's the final weekend in the WSL. The season comes to a close on Saturday with all 12 teams facing off. Kickoff at 8 a.m. Eastern time for every single team. Now, most everything is already wrapped up in the WSL. Manchester City, they've won their second WSL title, their first one in 10 years. That happened on May 6th. The last time they won it, our very own Jen Beattie was there helping lift that trophy. But so for this final weekend and final match day, it's almost just final table positionings that need to be determined, namely at the top, Arsenal and Chelsea, who are vying for that number 2, number 3 spot, which could directly qualify them for Champions League play. As a reminder, too, for everyone watching the WSL this year, promotion relegation is a little different with the league expanding from 12 teams to 14 teams. Leicester, who has finished the bottom of the WSL table, they will play in a playoff against the third place WSL 2 teams. Just keep that in mind as you're looking ahead to next season. But this WSL season, Jen, it feels like it's been one of the most competitive that we've had. What's your general takeaway from this year?
100%. I've loved every second of it. I think everyone talks about what's the most competitive league, and I think every league is always improving, right? But this year you have seen finally, I guess, a different winner, Man City coming up top. Having Chelsea dominated it for so long. I will say Man City have had the benefit of not having Champions League football, kept everyone fit and just absolutely smashed it. But my goodness, Spurs have impressed, Brighton have impressed. There's so many amazing takeaways from this season, and it's gone down again till the second last game of the season, and it's meant other teams dropping points. But really happy for Man City. I think they've been so great to watch, defensively so solid. And we also have a relegation battle that went down to the wire, and Leicester will play off with Charlton, see who comes up. That's the fun of English football, WSL 1 and 2. So that relegation and who's coming up. But what season? I think teams have got better, clubs are investing. It's been a great year for WSL football.
What have been some of the biggest surprises, Darian, or your favorite storylines to watch? Because you were pretty high on London City Lionesses coming in. I want to know where you predicted they were going to finish at the end of the season. I need to go find some receipts.
Did I say 5th? And
you
they're
said
in
pretty
7th?
high. I was like, whoa.
Wait, what? What is it?
Beginning of the season,
Yeah.
I said London City Lionesses and the players they were recruiting, you know what? They should be higher than 7, though. They should be. I'm a little disappointed, but there's always next season. I think that's someone in the comments said Darian said 4th, LOL.
Yes, bring in the receipts. Bring in the receipts. I remember when you said it, I was just like, absolutely not. That's
you never know.
Tottenham's
hot and cold, Brighton's hot and cold.
True.
How do people remember that? I will say that is phenomenal.
People really are
well done, guys.
Yeah.
Well done bringing the receipts.
Appreciate
they
you
were
guys.
fun to watch this year. I'll give them that, but not quite 4th, Darian, 7th.
I think the players that they acquired later on would have been game changers if they had them at the beginning of the season. So I think looking at next season, I'm going to bet London City Lionesses will say 5th. I'm not going to say 4th.
All right, chat. Keep notes of this one.
That receipt.
No, I'm like, listen, with the names that have been swirling around that club lately,
right?
I'm not writing it off, Darian, whatsoever. So
right.
There you go.
No, they've been a joy to watch. I think just the drama at the top of the table as well. Chelsea possibly only having a trophy at
One.
the end of the season. That's been nuts to watch. The changes, the players leaving clubs, all of the transfer news. WSL is just, it's fun because it feels distant and we just kind of get to watch it from far away. It's not in our backyards, but it's just as dramatic as the NWSL. I think this year truly proved that. The transfers, players from the NWSL going WSL, it's just been a joy to watch. Watching Alyssa Thompson thrive this season with Chelsea, it's probably my favorite. I think there was a lot of question marks how she would do, and she has fit in seamlessly and been a complete standout. That's probably my favorite storyline.
Remember that big drama when she was going to leave and all the questions are like, is she going to be okay? Is she even, how is she going to do? Yeah, you're so right, Dee. Thompson splashed it out of the water. She proved she deserves to be there.
Also, Sam Coffey just heading over to England and winning the WSL within 6 months. Fair play. Shout out Sam Coffey. Incredible move. Great move. Turned out to be a great move.
Great move. And now they get to play in Champions League next year too, which is so cool for Sam.
I cannot wait to watch them in Champions League next year to see how they can, accommodate that schedule, because we saw Man United kind of struggle with their first season into it and dip, and now that Man United haven't even qualified for Champions League next year. So that for me just shows the competitiveness within that top 6. And I do believe Brighton, Spurs, London City, they're going to be in that conversation next year.
Well, you have to talk about Brighton because they're in the FA Cup final for the first time. Top half of the season for the second year in a row. Like, it's been such a good turnaround, really led by Fran Kirby, Madison Haley up top. Like, they have really good players, but they're also bought in to what they want to do, and they're playing so well. I mean, even in the semifinal of the cup semifinal against Liverpool, like, they were down by 2 goals and they come back to win it. It's been fun to watch Brighton.
Brighton, I think, have been one of actually my favorite storylines. It's easy to talk about the top 3 and the big hitters and the ones who have the huge investment, but Brighton, for me, especially with the storyline of their investment into the women's purpose-built stadium, the facilities that they've already had from a training ground perspective and really built into that. And you mentioned Fran Kirby, Lisa. She has been at the forefront, and I think she is, that quality of player that, left Chelsea to do something different with Brighton. So for them to, finish 6th so far, get to an FA Cup final, their first ever for the club. If they win it, it will be the first trophy the club have won, full stop. What an achievement that'll be. And they've had amazing results against top teams in recent form. So the FA Cup final is going to be just as epic. And we've actually spoken to Dario a couple of times over in England. And I just think what they're building, what they're doing as a team, they have, surpassed everyone's expectations. And going back to competitiveness, they've been a front runner for it. So looking forward to the FA Cup final, actually, with them in it, and seeing if they can take down a Man City, which they have done. So
I was going to say, Brighton's been the team to play spoiler and cause a lot of the jumps in the table that we've seen this season. And they've just been so fun to watch. So I love that too, Jen. And finally, truly investing in the club with Fran Kirby at the forefront of it. It's just exactly what the club deserves. And I think is a mark of a lot of growth.
Yeah. Well, at the top of the table, it's where there is the most movement, potentially with implications on the line for this final day, Saturday in the WSL, because it is a fight for Champions League and a spot in the Champions League. So Manchester City, they've won the league. They're already in to Champions League, but the top 2 will also enter the league phase directly. The 3rd place team in the WSL is going to go into qualifiers. So it is Arsenal and Chelsea right now in those 2 spots. Arsenal currently sit in 2nd place, but with a win over Liverpool on Saturday, Arsenal will finish in 2nd and they will directly qualify. Chelsea, they play United on this final day. They would need Arsenal to lose. They have to lose. It can't be a draw, and then Chelsea can get in. So what do you think is going to happen, guys? Which teams directly qualify for Champions League? Who finishes 2nd and who finishes 3rd between Chelsea and Arsenal?
I mean, I'm hoping it's Arsenal finish 2nd and qualify directly. I've played in those playoffs. They are not fun. They come so early in a season. It's hard to get a group together in a preseason. I think they can get the job done against Liverpool, but Liverpool were 2-0 up against Brighton, so who knows? But I'm backing Arsenal on this one. I think they'll get the job done against Liverpool and keep that gap big enough and finish second.
Yeah, I agree. I think Arsenal does so well when there's a lot of pressure on the line.
Yeah.
And I think they can take it to Liverpool.
Yeah, I think that if Chelsea's, I also think is going to win this weekend because they're coming off that loss in the FA Cup to City, but now they play United, but it doesn't matter, right? They need Arsenal to lose on this final day. Yeah, I'm with you guys. City, Arsenal, Chelsea to finish out the season at the top 3. Well, because it is the end of the WSL season, we wanted to give you our A3 WSL team of the season. Darian, why don't you kick us off? You're starting with our front line, right?
I got us.
Great.
All right, forwards, assemble. Obviously, Khadija Bunny Shaw at the 9. Who else would we pick? MVP, leading goal scorer, 19 goals, 4 assists. Crazy if City lets her go, by the way.
Oh, crazy.
We're talking Champions League without Bunny Shaw.
Crazy.
That's a
I can't actually even talk about it because I just think it's so crazy.
It's nuts. That's a completely different team.
Huge.
Alessia Russo, have to throw her in. 11 goals, 6 assists. Just killing it, no matter what position she's in. Wide channel, 10, 9. She can do it all. And then last but not least, Viv Miedema. 10 goals, 5 assists. Another player, super dynamic, no matter where she is on the pitch, incredibly effective. That's our front line. Do I have any objections?
Wait, you didn't put Alyssa Thompson in?
No.
He would be my only shout out. I think she's had a brilliant season.
Give her an honorable mention. Who would you trade her for?
I would maybe just for.
Would you put Viv Miedema in the midfield?
Maybe I would still have Viv in it, but I would put.
Okay.
Well, Lisa has midfield. I would also put her in midfield, but
guys, we can do some.
This doesn't have her in there.
I was like,
truly around.
American.
We can do some moving around if we need to. But let me take you through my midfield.
Okay.
I have Hasegawa for Manchester City. She was lights out this year. So impressive. I'm going with Jess Park from Manchester United because I think that she did such a good job of driving this team through their Champions League play, through their season play, and what she was able to do in the midfield for United. So I'm throwing her in there, but I feel like we could potentially change her out if we needed to. And I'm going with Mariona Caldente for all the work that she does off the ball and defensively too for Arsenal, because she 3 goals, 3 assists this year, and she's always contributing in the attack, but she led this team in interceptions and tackles won. It led their team as an attacking midfield player. So I feel like Caldente has to be in this mix. Any objections for my midfielders?
Jen does.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
By Kim Little. 400 appearances for the Arsenal. One of the best defensive midfielders. Just love her so much. Honorable mention to
your good mate.
To the Scottish Queen of Arsenal. Yeah.
Scottish Galactica.
Yeah.
I think I would. Yeah.
Love Hasegawa.
Love Hasegawa.
Okay.
I mean, you like can't go wrong. All of these players are incredible.
This was hard.
Yeah.
I tried to look at the whole season, everything that these players have done.
Yeah.
All of it. All right, Darian, do you have
any?
I feel like we should make, like we do our A3 team of the week, Kim Little should be the captain.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
I feel like I'm biased to the Scots, but Erin Cuthbert has been amazing for Chelsea as well.
Oh, she always is.
She hit 300 as well.
Yeah, she has been amazing.
Amazing. I'm just shouting out honorable mentions. That's all. No objections.
I love it.
Shall I get on to the defenders?
Please.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with Alex Greenwood in the left back position. First and foremost, City and Man City and Arsenal had the best defensive records in the WSL. So this is very much built off that. And she's not even a left back. Yeah, she's left footed, but she's naturally a centre back. And I still think to go and do that job, it's just so hard to switch that out. So she's been great. And Steph Catley, I think, in terms of leadership and consistency, that I think is so important when you're playing for the two top teams. And Rose, I'm going to bring the other centre back in. I said this was pretty much a mixed match of Arsenal and Man City, and that's exactly what it is. But in terms of strength, ability on the ball, I think she's been brilliant and probably one of the most underrated defenders in the WSL. And Emily Fox, man, I could talk about her all day. I just think she's taken Arsenal to a next level in all forms. In Europe, talk about consistency with Steph Catley. Emily Fox is one of the best right backs in the world.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Defensive runs, her covering for a backline for Arsenal that's had a lot of injuries and a lot of changes and subs. She's been that pillar in right back. So that's my back four. And then I went for Hannah Hampton from Chelsea in the net, because just in terms of, I think it's double-edged sword, right? But risk-taking, playing out the back, she just takes a lot of risks, and her technical ability is second to none. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't, but when it does, it looks so sweet. And obviously one of the best shot stoppers, and that's her job, and she's very, very good at it. So yeah, I went for Hannah Hampton. Could have been Van Domselaar. She's had a great season as well. But Hannah Hampton edged it for me from a technical ability. So that's my back four. And GK.
Yeah, I like that. I don't have too many shouts, actually. I mean, how can you not, right?
Yeah.
City had such an amazing defensive effort this year. A lot of people in the chat are going for Kasparji for the right back for Manchester City.
By the way, also like multiple assists, brilliant player. She's Kasparji, phenomenal, and overlapping runs, balls into the box, so good. But Emily Fox for me is one of the best right backs in the world. And there's also,
you can't, when you're going that way.
There's also Baltimore. There's Lucy Bronze. There's other incredible. Lotta Wibben-Moy also had a brilliant season. Yeah. There's so many defenders. I want to mention them all because I'm not saying this was. There's so many defenders that could have gone in, and I totally agree with the chat.
I'm going to give honorable mention goalkeeper to Chiamaka Ndozie.
Nice.
I want to say maybe a season or two ago I put her. I think I had goalkeeper, and I think I put her in as well. But want to give her an honorable mention. I think. Talk about someone that faces a lot of adversity with the team maybe not being the most consistent. She's been very consistent.
Yeah.
Just want to give her a shout. Yeah. But I think Hannah Hampton is the right choice. But if we had a second team,
have we got a coach? Do you guys have a coach? I have a coach.
Yeah, hit us,
Jen.
Jen.
Who's yours, Jen?
Andre Yeglers.
That's who I had.
Yep.
To do it in his first season, to win the WSL, and I think keeping everyone fit, that's not a managerial thing. That's a performance, loading everything. But they've played with a freedom this year. And I think, I know Man City really well. They have a philosophy. It's very structured. The passing patterns are so down to a T with how you train and how you want to play. Whoa, hit the microphone there. But they've played with a freedom there that they still have their structure, but give the confidence to the players to go and do their thing when they want. And that's shown, and they've had this mentality to just go and win games when they're not playing the best, and that's why he gets my shout for sure.
Yeah,
taking them to another level.
Absolutely. And now we get to watch Manchester City in Champions League next year. Of course, that's on CBS. The final weekend of the WSL is Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. All the games kicking off at the same time. We'll see you there. Who finishes in second and third between Arsenal and Chelsea? A lot on the line. Stick with us, guys, right here on A3. We're talking some free agents next and where they could be going. Stay right here with us.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ hits every highlight from all the sports that matter to you.
JJ, we appreciate your time breaking it down.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With the plays you missed.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And analysis to give you an edge.
All we need is 20 points.
I was shaking in my boots.
Texas, Ohio State, who wins this game?
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, streaming free 24/7.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Attacking Third. Last week, we did a fun little segment here on A3 where we looked at some of the biggest pending free agents across Europe, and we picked where we wanted them to go, where we thought they were going to go. We're doing that again. We picked 3 more players that may or may not be free agents, may or may not be moving to these places, but we're going to pitch them. We're doing Beth Mead, Alexia Putellas, and Mayra Ramirez today. These are going to be good ones. Jen, you want to start with us and kick us off with who you're talking about and where they're going?
So I've been given Beth Mead to talk about, which is kind of funny because nor really well. And
so Jen, you weren't on the meeting on Monday, so we gave you this one.
Right. No, I love it. I'm all for it. I will pitch Beth Mead to Gotham all day long. One, because I don't want to see her in any other WSL team. She's Arsenal through and through, and to see her go to a rival would just hurt so many people, and obviously myself too. And she's hilarious. I want to hang out. I want to have my friend back locally. So Gotham's our local team, and I think she would love the NWSL. I think she would love Gotham. She's just outside London. Currently at Arsenal, we're just outside New York. At Gotham, big city. There wouldn't be a huge change culturally for her. She could live here while she gets settled. We would take her in. Obviously, take her in. That sounds really bad, but you get it. I think she would fit the style of play at Gotham. I think she could be playing on either wing, or I think she's become really adaptable in her play, that she can play multiple positions, kind of anywhere across the front three. I could definitely see her in that team, and I think she would love Gotham, and I would love her being there, and I don't want to see her play in a WSL team, and that's pretty much my pitch. What do we think?
I think you are Gotham's biggest spokesperson for acquiring players.
Yeah,
but I like that. It's not a bad shout. When I think of Beth Mead, I'm like, oh, I can see her in a PSG.
Ooh,
something like they need a dynamic goal scorer. Yes.
Were they bottom of league phase?
Yeah.
They were terrible.
I'm not pitching my girl to go to.
They need her though.
They need her. They definitely.
Can afford her.
Yeah.
She'll get the bag she deserves. She's living in Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a train there from London.
You're not far from home.
No.
Far from home. I like the shout for PSG. I think it's a little more realistic than the Gotham shout.
You think? You don't think Gotham's realistic? I think it is.
I don't know if they can afford her.
Fair.
That's why.
Okay. Gotham's got a bag. Look at the roster. They can pull.
Without knowing teams' budgets.
True.
No idea teams' budgets. Also don't know what Beth's asking for.
Should be a lot.
Yeah. Should be.
All right, let me give you mine. I got Alexia Putellas.
Oh, where are you putting Putellas?
Yeah.
Where are you pitching her?
This one's kind of tough. I chose her, and then I was like, this is really difficult because she's not gonna go anywhere. She has to play in Champions League. When you think of Champions League, you think of a player like Alexia Putellas. The only other team I could truly see her going to is Lyon.
Really?
It is. Where? Okay, this is my pitch. Alexia Putellas would go to Lyon. You can't think of Champions League without thinking of Alexia Putellas. She's with a star-studded cast in the middle of the pitch. Lindsay Heaps is leaving the team at the end of this Champions League season. After the final, this will be her last match with Lyon. There's a position for her to fully step into. She'd be a leader. She's with Ada Hegerberg, with Wendy Renard. The most decorated players in Europe. That seems like the only fit to me that would actually make sense, that could pay her what she deserves. And then maybe we could get the Michelle Kang, Lyon to Washington Spirit pipeline in a couple of years or something.
Right. That's exactly how it works. I don't know, Dee. I mean, that would be great. I think it fits in. It's hard to picture Alexia Putellas anywhere but Barcelona, but I could see her going to England.
Which team?
I don't know. Take your pick. I could see her at Chelsea. I could see her at Arsenal. I could see her at Manchester City. If they lose Bunny Shaw, bring in Alexia Putellas, and then she's still in Champions League. Like,
she's in Champions League with Man City this season. She needs to go somewhere. She's in Champions League.
I totally see what you're saying with Champions League. Everyone wants to see her play Champions League. She's been there, done it. She's that level of player that needs to be in it. But I'm thinking, if we can just humor everyone for a second and say, if I am Alexia Putellas for a second, and I've achieved everything in football, I've won, multiple. I've won the Champions League. Do I then want to be part of a project and build and be a part of something completely different? My only thing, Lyon is just really is similar. It's kind of going into something that's similar direction. They want to achieve the same things. London City Lionesses are a project.
I'm not mad about that shout.
And it's still Michelle Kang.
We're still on the Michelle King pipeline from London City to Washington Spirit.
And if everyone knows one thing about Michelle Kang, she has the highest of highest aspirations of what she wants to do with these teams. And talk about a statement signing, I don't think it gets any bigger than signing Alexia Putellas and where the club wants to go. And I might be crazy, but I can see it happening. I don't think it's that far-fetched that
it's not.
No. So I just think from who knows what she'll do, right? But I think for something that's totally different, to get them to Champions League, that is what they want. That is where they want to be. They want to be winning the Champions League. They've outright, discussed it and said it. So I can see it happening.
Yeah.
Maybe she does a year with Lyon. She does a year with London City when they're better than they were when they place 4th or 5th this next season. Then she joins, and then she comes to Washington Spirit here stateside.
Done.
There's the pipeline.
We have her next.
We have her next 3 years mapped out. We're good. We got it for Putellas. All right, guys, let me take you through mine. Mayra Ramirez, the Colombian international.
Nice.
Now, she's not a free agent, so we had a lot of liberties with me picking this player, but she is rumored to be on the move. So right now she has a contract through 2028 with Chelsea. She has to go to Real Madrid and play with Linda Caicedo and help get them past the quarterfinals of Champions League play. Real Madrid has to bolster up their roster and get more players that are game changers, that can take the entire game on their shoulders and make a difference. And Mayra Ramirez can do that, but it has to be alongside some other players that are going to help her out. And I think Linda Caicedo is going to do that with Redondo and Caroline Veer. It has to be the landing spot for Ramirez, and it's a great one for her. They've been eliminated in the quarterfinals of the Women's Champions League the last 2 years. They have to break that spell. They have to get out of it and make a push for semifinals, and Ramirez can do that for her, for this team.
I like that.
They definitely need to bolster their squad. They definitely need an out-and-out striker that can not keep up with Caicedo, but be there to support.
Keep up with her.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I like it, actually. I really do like it. That's also if Caroline Weir stays as well.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of changes potentially to happen there too.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a little pitch of Mayra Ramirez to San Diego Wave.
Oh,
yeah. With all the Brazilians,
the Brazilians, you're in California. You're with a lot of international players. It's your type of quality that fits well with the team. Ludmila slides over to that right wing. You have Dudinha on the left, Mayra Ramirez at the 9.
I would love to see her in the NWSL. I will say.
I actually think I don't think
Yeah.
San Diego would pick her up right now. I think that Bay FC would pick her up, and they could use her as a striker.
They could definitely use her.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's appealing as San Diego, though.
Yeah.
No, for her, absolutely not. No. But it helps them out. Oh, that's a good one. These are good shouts. These are so fun, guys. If you have players that are potential free agents for this summer or not even free agents that you want us to play this game with them, let us know the players and we'll pick a spot for them to go. Stick with us, though, right here on 8th Year. We're going to play a fun little game when we come back. Hey, welcome back to Attacking Third, presented by Tylenol, the official pain reliever of the NWSL. We are closing the show with a fun little game that we're playing. We are doing our top 5 horror films of women's soccer. Now, this is a social media trend. It's almost like minor inconveniences that are seen as big horrors. This is so fun. Darian, you said you had a blast pulling yours together. Give us some. Jen, throw some out. Darian, throw some out.
Had a blast. My women's soccer horror films. I did have a good time coming up with these. I could probably make a list of 50.
Yeah, same.
But what jumped out immediately that I thought of things like, what don't I miss about playing professionally? Rain delays. There's nothing worse than showing up, getting warmed up. You do all of your prep work, you have your whole routine, you eat the right way, and there's a rain delay. The worst. Training after you land. A big flight. You leave in the morning. You're away. And your coach goes, all right, quickly change, drop your things off at the hotel. We're going to train.
Terrible.
Fine up until 25. Post 25 years old, when you have about 40 different exercises to do to make you feel good to then go and train. Completely agree.
I'm landing. I don't want to put cleats on.
No.
Yeah. 3-game away week.
Oh,
matches away. Terrible.
Rough.
Missing a sitter.
Yeah. Darian,
those are my days.
One of mine, like when you're inside the 6 and you sky your shot and it just goes well over the crossbar and you're like, oh, that was terrible.
What's even worse is watching it back in film with the team.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Yes. Had a few of those in my day. And last, but certainly not least, team bonding. Scheduled team bonding.
You didn't like that.
It's my nightmare. On one of the teams, we threw rocks. It was like throwing rocks to see who can hit the rock that was like the target point. And that was team bonding.
That might be the worst team bonding I think I've ever heard of.
That's tough.
Throwing rocks. Where? At the beach or?
No, in a parking lot.
No.
In preseason.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Someone, we need to get the organizer of that on the podcast because that is crazy.
Well, they got fired, so
right. Okay. Yeah, we won't then. We won't. Yeah.
We don't have to go into that one yet.
No, we won't. I always used to resent team bonding, but when I was on it, I loved it.
Like when you see it on your schedule, you're like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do
the last thing you want to do is like 4 hours in your afternoon going somewhere, but then like, man, give me an escape room and I'm all over it. I like come alive.
That stuff is fun.
Yeah.
That's fun, but not when you're like sitting in a circle in your film room.
No,
it's like, tell us the funniest story that happened when you were 7 years old.
Yeah, or write on a bit of paper what culture we want to create. Culture meetings. Should be one of mine, actually.
That's tough.
Let's not sit and talk. Let's just go and do it.
Yeah.
That's funny. We could come up with so many. Mine
okay, was, I need my 5. You go.
I didn't have 5, but I had to add to ours of cross-country economy seats, and you're in the middle seat. I was struggles with that.
Sounds like a Southwest Airlines. Try to get on soon.
Fight for your spot.
Yeah. And then in general, just the first day of preseason is a horror movie for me. All the testing, it's always a really long day. It's always fun seeing everyone again, but just like the max every type of test possible it was just awful. The
And, like,
anxiety around that
yeah,
day was awful.
the pit you
Mhm.
feel the day before the first day of preseason where you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is coming tomorrow," and I
Yeah,
don't
like
do anything about it.
yeah. How are you gonna shape up? How's everyone else gonna be? What are they gonna throw a new test at you that you don't know and you haven't prepped
That's the
for?
worst.
Oh, I don't miss that. When you said what you don't miss, that was I
Yeah,
don't miss first day
number
of
one.
Like,
preseason.
oh, we have a new iteration of the beep test. We're actually switching things up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, now we're gonna do, the mile test or the 1K test or the beat test.
Oh, the
We're
1K.
gonna do all of them, actually. We're doing all
We're
of them.
doing all of them. And you
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the worst when it's
What
all
about you, Lise?
guys, these are all so good. Darren, when you said like watching film, that to me like took me back to sitting in my college locker room, and it would be like, look, there's Lisa and just not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And like the call out, that is like the worst. And you're just like, yeah, this already happened. I can't do anything about it. I'll move forward. Also like when you're playing in a game and your headband snaps or like your pre-wrap snaps, like that I hated because then my hair was everywhere and always in my face. That was a mess.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Redoing my bun in like record timing if it had been knocked out from heading a ball. Oh, the stress.
The
The
stress.
5 seconds of stress. Yeah, I get it.
The stress. And you're always on defense, Jen. So you gotta like
There's a lot of heading. There was a lot of heading.
A
Yeah.
lot of heading. Guys, these were so fun. I love our women's
That was
soccer
fun.
horror films doing these. If you have any for us, please let us know. Thanks, guys, for hanging with us on YouTube. If you listened as a pod, watching on Galazzo Network, we so appreciate it. We're going to be back Sunday night, 10 p.m. after Royals against Racing Louisville. We're bringing you our reaction from everything that happens this weekend across the NWSL and, of course, our A3 team of the week. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you then. For Trey, Jen, Darian, and Audrey, I'm Lisa. This was Attacking Third.